please remember that safety always comes first. Practicing these techniques can cause physical injury. Always consult your physician before starting an exercise or physical training program. We encourage you to train and practice the techniques retailed in these DVDs, but please do so in a safe and sensible manner. Never train with real weapons. There are safe and inert training aids available. Respect your training partner and wear protective equipment as appropriate to your training activities. Also consider supplementing your training by working with a good instructor.
My name is Eyal Yanilov, and I've been involved with Krav Maga for over 35 years. Spreading it, developing it. Very much close to the founder since the early 80s. Imi was an excellent sportsman. First of all, he was a fighter and a gentleman. He was definitely a gentleman, as it is. Not a violent person, very much seeking for peace. My role in Krav Maga started in the early 80s. I became instructor to instructors. That's first thing. At that time, I became very close to Imi, really his closest assistant. And I served in that position for close to 20 years. Definitely you can look at Krav Maga and see that it is a wide system. It is dealing with all sorts of problems, whether a different type of attacks, different level of violence, of course, different level of hurting the opponent to save myself or to save others. Dealing with weapons, dealing with grabs, dealing with multiple opponents, dealing with hostage situations, dealing with standing, moving, sitting on the ground in confined areas, everywhere. We should train everywhere. We should prepare ourselves really to solve new problems under stress. So overall, when you look at the system is evolving constantly. Stefan and I will be working and demonstrating techniques against different knife attacks. He comes to attack. This was, of course, preventing the person from getting close to you and hit you. The moment you see the knife, and you can stop the person by a kick, usually over the level of the solar plexus, usually the solar plexus or to the head, then do it. If it's not possible, meaning the attacker is at a closer range, for us the close range is a small step, like a foot forward, and then he strikes. We're talking about circular attacks. When you're ready. The action is simple. Again. The whole idea is naturally to block, to stop the attack. Initially, simultaneously, we are counter-attacking. So when the attacker is attacking, is practically trigger us to action, to attack. The defense is part of the attack, really. So when the attack is going, my job is to defend and counter simultaneously. Whether it's a high stab, whether it's a low stab, still the same. The whole thinking is I'm blocking, shifting my weight in the direction of the attack. The block to push the person away from me. Why away? Because that's where he's going anyhow to recoil and attack again. So I don't want to encounter another stab. I'm trying to stick to him. Counter attack, open or close hand. As you move forward, continue with more counters. Can be to chin, throat, eyes, kick to the groin, elbow, whatever is appropriate in this changing type of situation. If the attack is low, practically it's the same. Please remember, like in the basic 360, the block is supposed to be with the middle between the joint of the pinky, the base joint, to the elbow. That's a center area which is making the block. Usually with the open hand is preferred. Send the shoulder, the weight, the mass in the direction of the attack, in the direction of your defense. Let's say it's a low one, still the same. We are, please remember, defending near the wrist area. Here it's definitely extremely dangerous to defend that area. The person, a strong person, even not so strong, with a reasonable attack can still lift your hand or avoid your defense and hit you. After the initial counterattacks with charging forward, the next phase is usually to disengage, which means after the defense and the counter, with more countering, moving forward, and now what to do? The answer is in the basic stages, the tactical thinking is, I move away from danger zone. Moving away from danger zone, moving away from this area, what should be done? Maybe I would like to go and equip myself with something. Maybe I need to go and assist somebody else. Maybe I've got another problem with another person. Let's say he's here. Whatever is needed, I will do. If it's possible to leave the area completely, escape the dangerous zone, reach safe zone, safe area, do it as soon as you can. Civilians, our job is to be safe, that's it. Imagine you have something in the hand. At this moment, I've got a flashlight, but it can be a small bag. If you're an officer, it can be a pistol in the hand. There can be different things. It depends, of course, what is this and what is the situation. But example, sometimes this can be used and definitely should not disturb you. If I see a knife, I can already use it for, distraction. We're not talking about an object that I can use to do strong attacks. That's not the idea. Just to distract the person with this. If I throw it towards the person and then either run away or attack after it. So the basic thinking, the moment I see the problem, I will use it to distract the person and then continue as needed with more attacks or with moving away. However, if this is something that I cannot throw, I don't wish to lose, definitely be prepared to function with this object in the hand, whatever object it is. Meaning, if in this situation I have to defend with my left and punch with my right, I will use. If this can be punched with, excellent. When he is attacking, and what happened now is I blocked with the regular defense, attacked in whatever way I feel is necessary and possible with the object in the hand. After that, continue with the regular things, and then move away, scan the area, check for other problems, other dangers, and finish as you need to do. What happens if the object is in your hand? You must train not to distract yourself and not to change your behavior because of that thing. You should do what is possible and what is needed. So for instance, if this is an object in my left hand and it's attacking, should I do this or that? Of course, the whole idea is that I don't have time and I'm using the most economical motions, most efficient ones. So he makes the attacks and then continue. And what I did was I was using and doing the technique with the object in the hand. Doesn't matter which hand it is, which hand the attacker is. And let's remember the basic techniques. The block, please. The block, the counterattack, keeping my block, pushing away the person, continuing with more attacks, and moving away from danger zone. As you move away, don't forget to scan the area. If it's in this situation, still the same. Please remember to bend, keep the knife away from you, don't bend your knees, bend at the waist. Continue as you see fit, with or without the object. If this is an object cannot be hit with, but you still want to keep it, then the other alternative is naturally to attack only with the legs, meaning and the head. Not only to think, you can also attack with it. Finishing modes. One of the possibilities is to disarm the attacker. This is a next level or a higher level of techniques and situations that we are dealing with. The basic is, of course, defend, counterattack, move. Sometimes there is a possibility, a necessity to disarm. Here against, first of all, the overhand stab. What happened is the following. Attacker attacked, and my defense was a continuous one to a trap, to wrap my wrist and palm around his wrist area. So the block and the first counterattack together with wrapping the hand. After pushing, going forward with counterattacks, move your thumb, push the person away, and then retract, move backwards, grab with two hands, and disarm. How do we disarm? Grabbing and bringing the knife to the front. Other hand, wrap with the heel of the hand to the back of his hand. Bend his wrist forcefully, sending his knuckles towards his forearm. When you do this, your elbow should be high, very strong pressure. Now relax your fingers, your hold, sink into his palm, scrape the knife away, blade towards the outside. One more time. If a person is holding the knife very strong, it is very difficult to disarm. That's why hammering the person, counter-attacking, is extremely important, of course, even before the disarming. It is very likely that because of the defense and the counter-attack, the person will drop the knife. If this happens, you will have to continue with attacks, push him away, and then if you need the knife, get a hold of it. To disarm the person, it takes time. Do you have this time? It's a question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's a higher level of proficiency. Do you have this level or not? It's a question. So if you do need, and if it's a must, definitely get the knife. If you've got the time and the ability. Attacker is stabbing. This was the first option. Let's do it again. In this case, what happened, that the strong counterattack pushed the person away. The disengagement was asking, requesting a kick, and then, of course, finishing mode. That's one option, naturally. What happens if the attacker is attacking and the counterattack stopping in place and he's a bit groggy? From here, in this situation, counterattack and the block found us in this sort of static almost situation. An option here is to continue to trap, to counterattack, and then to disarm the person. Here in this situation, there are different possibilities. One is to take the person down. Another one is to push him away and move away. But also we do have the possibility of here going, seeing if the knife is there, to grab. Doesn't matter where the knife is. Usually the knife will be still sticking up. Grab the opponent's hand, wrap your fingers around his, and the heel of the hand is on the back of his hand. Here start moving out, pressing his hand away from you, and then go to the wrist quickly. Move away, you can attack, of course, as needed, and now press with the high elbow, relax your fingers, and scrape the knife away from his hand. Remember, always take the blade to the outside, don't take the blade towards yourself. In this situation, you've got the knife in the hand. What are you going to do with the knife? Naturally, you took it because of two main reasons. One, you didn't want anyone else to have it, or maybe you needed it to continue and defend yourself because you are at this moment in life-threatening situation and you would like to have a weapon. Another option is that the attacker is attacking very, very fast attacks. Wrapping is definitely very dangerous. What to do in this case? In this situation, let's go to the other side. In this situation, the attacker attacked and I blocked and counterattacked. However, my counterattack didn't influence him enough and he continues to attack. So I would like to move to the outside. So moving out of the channel of the attack. And then continue as needed, pushing the person away, moving away, or disarming as you need and see fit. So in this case, when he's attacking very fast, your initial response is, of course, to counterattack. He's recoiling. Trapping is very problematic here. So what to do? Get out from the channel. So he's going backwards and forwards. All you need to do is move out while you keep your defense. Moving out, keeping the defense away from you, from your body, close to his body, turning, doing a good body defense, moving the pelvis, the whole body, stepping diagonally forward, getting out of the channel of the attacks. Don't keep any of your parts, especially not the foot, in the line of the upcoming knife. After the strong counterattacks, when you feel that the person doesn't continue to be a danger so much anymore, double control is an option, pushing away, moving away, or changing position of legs as needed and disarming the person and then moving away. Another very strong option is just after the strong counterattacks, move completely. Get away from the danger zone. What happened now, the attacker is a strong person, tried to lift you almost with a knife. So my response, something like this, may have a problem is he's continue to press and lift up. And when he's very strong, and especially if your technique is not 100% accurate with your defense, you may have a problem with this. So avoid, move the body away. As this is happening and he's lifting me, I turn my body. I should turn the body as soon as I can. Maybe after the first punch, maybe with the first punch, you move the body away. And again, we come to the position of the block that turned, become diagonal, the strong body defense out of the channel of the attack as soon as I can. After that, continue with, for instance, taking the person down, an option for law enforcement, for example, disarming the person with different types of attacks, or with grabbing the weapon. Remember, if you have the weapon, be sure that you're using it for your self-defense to save your own life, not just attack anyone. Eric and I are demonstrating now how to deal with a straight knife stab. When you're ready. One more time. The technique is based on natural reaction, natural response, which is that type. That's the natural response. We are converting this natural response into an inside defense. However, because the knife stab may be to different heights, better defend with the forearm. Defending with the forearm that will be able to be functioning efficiently against different heights. I send my forearm diagonally forward, sliding diagonally forward, reaching the source of his motion as he's recoiling. While doing this, I'm using a body defense, getting out completely of the channel of the attack. Not only the line of attack, the channel. So diagonally forward with the steps, coming to about 45 degrees from the side, more or less. As soon as possible, I will trap his hand and counterattack. Trapping is not the most important thing. What is very important that you'll keep your pressure towards him with the elbow low. So your starting position is something like this, especially for the learning phase. When he stabs, go a bit low to meet him as soon as possible, close to him, with as much as possible vertical forearm. You pressed, you slide it forward, trapped, and counterattack. The body defense with the torque of the whole body, the pelvis, the upper body. Counterattack as soon as you can. Countering, open or close hand to the most vulnerable points as you see fit. Keep the pressure, keep the elbow down. Finishing mode. Example, moving away from danger zone. Another example, continuing to counterattack. Disarming the person. How do we disarm? We have discussed before. It's the same principle. You grab the wrist area with your palm, heel of the hand on the back of the hand. Move a good distance away. If I do it here, it's dangerous. Distance away, your elbows are almost straight. Soften him a bit more. And then scrape the knife away. Blade to the outside. Dealing with circular attacks that can be either stabs or slashes. Robert and I will demonstrate against a slash when you're ready. One more time. The situation and the problems are very simple. You couldn't manage to prevent the attacker from reaching and attacking you. So now you have to do a defensive action. What's a natural reaction? Natural reaction is this, meaning 360 is the basic. When he attacks, I block the knife that is going to come and cut me. Up with the shoulder, lower the head. So you are very much protected here. Simultaneous counterattacking, trapping if possible, going deep so the knife will be practically behind you, and more counterattacks as needed. Slowly one more time. When you reach this situation, sort of a crossroad of decision making, what do I do now after I get control and the attacker is not aggressive so much anymore? So pushing away and moving away is an option. Disarming, shifting the hook to a C-grip, moving away so I will not get cut, and get a hold of the hand of the knife with a double control, with a double grip. Heel of the hand on the back of the hand. Continue with counterattacks, and then disarm the person like you have seen before. So we did a response based on this block, on this reaction. What happens if you've got more of a retreat reaction? So when the attacker is attacking, we have here the situation that I responded with moving backwards. One more time. So instead of doing that block, I moved away. And as soon as possible, I should be returning. One more time. Dealing with his second stab, with his second slash. What happened? The second slash is being met with double defense. The reason for the double defense here is that we have 3 joints, and if one hand is making the defense, this joint may bend and still the knife will enter. So you would like to block above and below the elbow, this way. Put your body in an arch backwards, and immediately, as you are returning the body, bending a bit the knees, returning forward to meet the attack, one more time, to meet the attack as soon as you can. Raise the hand and send them forward. Block above and below the elbow. Here, trap, keep your elbow low. If your elbow is high, he may enter. So keep the pressure against, you had the block, keep the pressure, first counterattack. After counterattacks as needed, continue to vanish, or counterattacks more, or disarm as you see fit. Dealing with different problems on the ground, reality on the ground, one of the things we do is naturally defending different types of attacks, including knife attacks. Somehow, well, you couldn't see it before maybe, the attacker got a hold of a knife and he's attacking, he's trying to stab you. Eric and I will demonstrate. What happened is, if we assume that the situation started without a knife, and now the person is trying to get a knife and we could not prevent him from doing this,
The basic thing is, of course, the block. And the counterattack as much as possible, as early as possible. Maybe you can reach the person. Hopefully you can. Stab one more time. We remember the trapping action. So defend and counterattack, and as soon as possible you're trapping. As you recoil from your counterattack, you should use your hips. So trapping and using the hips. Continuing to pound on the person all the time. Then change the hold to a strong C grip. Shift your weight to immobilize his arm. Counterattack as needed, and then continue. How to separate between us? One option is naturally to disarm the person, as usual. This is the higher level. I decide to separate, to move away. Send the forearm under the area of the Achilles tendon. Head should go down. Throw his leg over your head, and now move away from danger zone. The last thing you do is leave the knife. And now as needed, you can attack more and move out from the danger zone. Travis and I will demonstrate now and teach how to defend against stick attacks. Stick is a long weapon, so the attacker will stay at a longer distance relatively. When you're ready. Basic technique is to cover the distance, to get close as possible. In this principle, the body defense is composed of getting close as possible. Very, very slow. Put your stick close to my head. Good. Here, I'm tilting forward. Already tilting brings the head into a less dangerous area. Tilt and make a step. Just a simple step forward. You are out of the real danger. Slowly one time. This is just the principle of moving forward. Usually you will move forward with the same leg as the defending hand, although both legs are possible. So the hand start the action and stop here. Natural response is this. However, this is not sufficient. If the stick will meet a forearm in a straight angle, it will break, it will cause damage. Press. But if it will meet an acute angle, it will slide down. So the idea in the stabbing defense, I am making this stabbing action. Fingers are leading the motion. Elbow is very low. That's the idea. The upper arm should come behind the ear. And I'm stabbing over the head of the opponent. moving forward, and counterattacking. Here you can see one line between my fingers, elbow, shoulder, hip, and heel. Everything is in one line. And I'm, based on that natural reaction, I'm also counterattacking. Finishing mode. One option, of course, is to continue with counterattacks as needed. Push away, move away. That's one thing. The other option is to disarm the person. How to disarm? If from here I grab the shoulder and gave a couple of kicks, sliding the hand on the arm of the person. It doesn't matter where the arm is, it can be there. Slide, grab the wrist, move back. Expose the stick, grab it from above, see grip, and rotate it in the opponent's hand. Grab it lightly, rotate it. One more time, slowly, slowly, slow. Keep it, keep it. Yes, that's the idea. You got the stick, you can use it if it's a matter of life and death. If not, you may think about just moving away from the danger zone. Attacker is holding the stick with two hands and lands the stick vertically down, more or less vertically, towards my head. Basic technique is moving out a little bit, and the stabbing motion, the hand defense, naturally should be to the outside. So I can go one direction or the other one. As soon as possible, while executing both hand and body defenses, I trap his hand and counterattack with my backhand, with my defending hand. While doing this, I'm removing my back leg out of the descending stick. So the stick is going down. I must not keep any part of my body in the channel or in the line of the descending stick. Hand and body defense, move away and strike. Continue after the strike with the finishing mode. That can be, for instance, push and move away, or can be more attacks and disarming. I can disarm with one hand if it's a bit weak. If I cannot do it, I can use my thigh and strike up with my thigh while striking down with my hand. Now I've got the stick in the hand. I can use it if needed, or just move away from the danger zone. Slowly one more time. in many parts of the world, horizontal attack, like a baseball swing, is very common. It's a powerful attack, long weapon, and an opponent, an attacker, can definitely use it to create a lot of damage. The attack can be directed to different heights. One more time. Situation is response is this. That's a natural response. Based on this natural response, we are doing two forearm defense. He is going to strike my head. Staying in this area is not smart. And in the stick techniques, we are definitely moving in. As usual, we should move in. Move in, close the distance. Catch him, intercept him at the earliest possible moment, when he's close with his hands to his body. Two forearms, fleshy part, forward, in an angle, slanted. As soon as possible, you're also doing the first counterattack. Trap the hands. Now, the defenses should be one above and one below this knot of holding. If I go here, it's a strong strike. If I go here, maybe the stick will swivel and hit me. So, this way. Sending the forearms forward, lowering your body, lowering the elbows in an angle, fleshy part. Bit of a circular motion here to reduce the impact. One more time. And counterattack while trapping, holding the weapon, the hands. Here we can continue with more attacks as needed. After the initial phase, one more time, hand defense, body defense, control and counterattack, we may think about finishing mode as moving away, escaping the danger zone, scanning the area, of course. Or we can think about disarming. Disarming can be with a circular motion and continue as needed. Slowly about the disarming. There are a few ways of disarming. Here, the way the person is holding the weapon, it is easy to hold the weapon, and with the other hand, go to the back side of the weapon and rotate it 360 degrees. This is almost, in all cases, disarming the person. Disarming especially after the strong counterattacks that he got. If you need, use the weapon again and scan the area, move away from the danger zone. So this is the natural reaction. Based on this natural reaction, two forearms that are parallel, going to meet the area of the grab, below and above the grab, to block well in a shock-absorbing manner. As soon as possible, I'm kicking. If there's a problem to kick, we can punch first. Dealing with different threats, one of the major things we have in Krav Maga is dealing with pistol threats. Duncan and I will demonstrate and teach this. Do one more time. Attacker is presenting the gun at a short range. What's being done is rather simple. We are sending the hand, the defending hand, very close to the gun. First of all, thumb under the barrel. The fingers should be up, the thumb down. Minimum motion to come below the gun and then horizontally deflecting it, straightening the arm, straightening the elbow. Simultaneously, you do a body defense. Whether the gun is higher or lower, you should be moving the body out of the line of fire, first of all. As soon as you can, move diagonally forward, clearing the whole channel of the attack and counter-attacking. Gun was deflected horizontally, and I'm moving out to about 45 degrees approximately from the side. Punch as soon as you can. Take the gun down. You can take the gun down usually after you have punched. If the person is relatively strong, it's very difficult to take it before you punch. Now, disarming the gun and moving away. If you're an officer of the law, maybe you've got your own gun, use it. If you have no other choice and you need this gun, maybe it's a real gun, maybe it can shoot, maybe you can use it, prepare it. But you have to be knowledgeable about how to operate a gun, especially the one that you got in the hand. What to do the moment the gun is on you? As soon as you can, do the technique. Usually the person will talk. He will say, raise your hand, give me something, or whatever.
Hands up. Yeah.
This was the best moment for me to do something. However, the moment you see the pistol, do something. When the pistol is static, deflect it. What about bringing the hands up? Should I do something like this? The answer is no. Meaning, the moment that I see a gun, I operate, I do the technique. However, if for some reason I couldn't do a technique, maybe I was too far and he said hands up, and then he get closer, I can do the technique from here. Or I got startled, I couldn't see what exactly is the situation. If I got started and I find myself in this position first as a natural reaction, and from this moment I do a technique, of course it's acceptable. Did a technique for the defense, the hand defense, the body defense, the control, the counterattack, and now the disarm. Let's talk about the disarming process. So as you move diagonally forward, you striked, you recoiled the hand, and at the same time, you took the gun down. So recoil the hand to the body, so this, meaning passing again the line of fire, will not happen. Recoil to the body, take the gun down and the other hand to meet down the gun. At this point, the gun should be more or less horizontal and relatively low. Where exactly it will be, we don't know, because the person may pull the hand. So I don't know exactly where it will be. However, I'm trying to press it down with the barrel to the side. The barrel to the side is crucial. I did it from the beginning. I take it downwards when the gun is down. Hopefully, the gun can come under my shoulder. That's my best control. My most weight is on the gun now. Now, wherever the gun is, I will go to the back side of it, to the area of the hammer, whether there is or no hammer. And here, I bring the gun to a perpendicular position, meaning perpendicular to me and to the ground. Here, I will step and then pull. However, sometimes the person is holding the gun a bit stronger, so do a stronger motion. One more time, please. A strong motion of opening the grip. See how the grip is opened? Opening the grip and then return to perpendicular. The magazine is pointing upwards, the butt of the magazine. And now, step and pull. If I do not step, it may be a situation that he is just with me, and that's it. I couldn't pull enough. I have to step, and now I can pull. So let's go over all the main details. First of all, as soon as possible, hand body. Deflect horizontally, thumb down, fingers up. When you grab, push the gun towards the opponent. Don't slide over the gun. Push away. Body defense, as soon as you can. Move, punch as early as possible, and start taking the gun down. When you do this, the whole body should get out of the channel of the attack. Do not stay in front of the person. Very simple. If he would pull the gun, then where am I? In front. I would like to be with a full body defense, with most efficient, 100% body defense, and also 100% hand defense. As he pulled the gun, who knows where the gun is? It's his force and my force together. Attack, grab the gun, turn it to perpendicular, and then step and pull. At this moment, move away from danger zone or utilize the gun. As this is a tool, if there's a need, you can even strike with it. What happens if the attacker is using the other hand while making the threat? Meaning he's pushing me. He's pushing me, he wants to send me somewhere, to distance myself from him. So, when he's doing that, I'm deflecting his push. Deflecting the push and sending my other hand for redirecting the line of fire. Practically, when we do the basic technique, the other hand anyhow come up. Yes? It comes up in a way not to be in front of the deflected gun. So when he's pushing, I'm still using the same motion of bringing the hand up, but of course with a bit of a change and redirecting the push. Now the gun is relatively high, and most of the time it will be pressed against the opponent's body. Continue with strong counterattacks and immediately grab and trap the gun. Here the gun has been trapped high. Continue with attacks as needed, and then disarm as you move back. Practically, this was a minor variation, a change in the technique. However, dealing with the push correctly is crucial. If not, you cannot do the technique. Let's do another variation. In this variation, I couldn't do anything before the next problem. The attacker grabbed, and now he's attacker grabbed and putting the gun, example, to the head. When the gun is to the head, with or without the grab, pushed against my head, if I move the head sideways, lateral, then it goes with me. I need to turn. It's exactly identical to the problem that the gun is here. We're doing a hand and a body defense. Body defense is a torque and moving diagonally forward. The head is the same, a torque, moving, turning the head, and coming behind the gun. Behind the gun is the best place to be. Even if there's a grab also, these two things, just limit in more. We have to get used to do variations, because in reality, you will always meet some sort of variation, and the Krav Maga way is teaching us to solve new problems, a bit new, under stressful conditions. What happens if the attacker has the pistol in the other hand? We can definitely do a mirror image. However, we can do the same technique also. Gun is on me. Same technique was done, meaning the left hand again, deflecting the gun as usual, straightening the elbow, moving diagonally forward and punching. Yes, the gun will not go so much down easily, just away from me. Step outside the channel. If I come here and he pull the gun, I've got a problem. I want to be outside the area of the threat. Attack strongly and then go and disarm the same way. Although it may happen that in the first motion of rotation, I've got a full disarm. Doesn't matter. I do 1 and 2 and take the gun and move away or make the gun ready, or whatever is needed to do, I will do. If the gun is aimed to the head, not from the front, but from the side, touching or not touching, doesn't really matter. You see the problem. Still the same solution. So you can see that with one technique we can solve many sort of problems. It's really variations of the problems with the variation of the solution. What happens here? the body defense, the hand defense. Start with the hand, continue with the body, deflect the gun, move diagonally forward, hit the opponent, and disarm the gun the usual way. Even if the gun is aimed to the head, at the other side, and my hand is being grabbed, same solution can be done. So you can see that this solution was appropriate. Keep holding me. From one side, and the other side. So practically I did with the same hand the technique to 180 degrees. Doing for my left side with my left hand, and doing my right side, because my right hand is occupied, practically variations on the solution for variations of the problem. The technique of moving the feet, starting with the hand, rotation of body and balls of the feet, and kick. Now, if he's still holding, release, and then grab the gun with two hands. Keep the gun high if you need to attack again. And now, disarm, step, and move away. The basic technique against a pistol, which Imi loved so much, is definitely the foundation to the next technique against a long gun threat. Robert, when you're ready. He presents the weapon. As soon as I can, I must deflect the gun sideways, horizontally. Move in and punch as soon as you can. Thumb down, fingers up, exactly like in the pistol. Try to do it as deep as possible, so you'll be able to move in and strike. Here, push the gun high, grab the neck of the butt, and strike with the knee as soon as possible. disarming the gun in a rotational manner. And then you can use the gun as you see fit. Finish by moving away. Let's look closely on the body defense. Moving in, deflecting sideways. In the pistol, we took the pistol down. Here, it's a big no. If I take the gun down, I cannot turn it away, so don't take it down. Up and grab the area close to his hand. If it's easy to take the gun, great. If not, strike and then take it. Use the gun for striking and then move away from danger zone, scan the area. If you're familiar with such weapons, naturally it is possible for you to use them as needed.
I'm sure that within the next few years, 5 to 10, Krav Maga will have a strong foothold in all the sectors of self-defense, realistic self-defense and fighting skills, whether for military, law enforcement, protection services, security services, and civilians. It is simple. Im used to say, everybody will come my way, meaning everybody will understand the necessity of the self-defense, defensive tactics, fighting skills, and will come in our way, because our way is to deal with realistic problems. We are not sport. Now, when there's a sport issue, we are not so good. The boxer is much better than us in boxing, but he will have to protect his balls if he wants to punch us.